What's up, everybody? This is Matt and Steve SC here with you. I actually have Steve with me here today, as well as Moltrap. He is here to help triple cast both days of the Bacchus OSL semifinals here. Yeah, that was Moltrap.
Ladies and gentlemen!
Oh God, no! He's gonna be taken over by personality and destroy our channel. Anyways, yeah, so we're here. We're going to talk a little bit in the beginning here. We haven't seen you guys for a while, so first off, huge shout out to our like 300 new subscribers since we last had videos. And thanks to you, of course, Moltrap. You obviously gave us a shout out. We also made it as the first SC2GG commentator of the week, which I didn't even know you guys were doing that, but it was weird on the front page, and Steve found it and showed me, and I thought that was pretty cool. So thanks for all your feedback as well about who kind of, you know, who waits for the VODs to come out. Some of you guys actually wait for our VODs, which is pretty cool, but then a lot of you guys surprisingly just watch whatever comes out first, which is totally cool. So, anyways, I'm actually going to pass it on to Steve here because I know he looked up some stats for the match. Obviously, we have Yellow there on the left, Tybe-B on the right, and let's just talk about a little bit going into this game here on Hollywood.
Hey guys, I'm back. This is Steve. A little sick today, but I had to be here for the OMG triple cast with Moltrap, so I'm here for that. Stats don't matter that much, honestly, for this matchup. This is going to be a best of 5. This is the round of 4, in case you didn't know. So we're down to just Yellow and Tybe-B. They are both on the same team, so that's going to be interesting. Little team killing going on. And otherwise, both of them aren't that impressive Zerg versus Zerg percentage-wise, but obviously Yellow is the much more experienced player. He's played a lot more games, so looking at stats, it doesn't really matter that much because Tybe-B hasn't played that many games. He's only played maybe 50 televised games. But just for the purpose of knowing the stats, Tybe-B Zerg vs Zerg is 41.7% about, and he's 5-7, whereas you have Yellow, who's 48%, and he's 41 and 44.
Ballers.
So actually kind of surprising that Yellow's below 50%. Yellow is just one of these players, kind of like his brother, that I think is a little inconsistent. I mean, it's any other matchup. You know, he can play really good and end up beating Jaedong, and then he can lose to Zero, which he's done a few times. Not that Zero's a bad player, but I put him at kind of more the bottom.
He's bad ZVZ, which is one of the reasons he got torn up by Jaedong.
But so yeah, I mean, anything can happen certainly, and again, whenever you see team games or you know, teammates playing each other, you often see a lot of weird things. We saw Tybe-B take down Lita, and that was really surprising to me.
Speaking of which,
that looks a lot like Lita. I don't know if that's Lita or not. What do you think, Moltrap?
I'm pretty sure that's not Lita. It looked a lot like him,
it would make sense.
But yeah, I guess he would be at this match, but I don't know. I don't think Lita would have a sign. I think his face is a little bit different. Anyway, yeah, Tybe-B, he's kind of one of these interesting new players. He's kind of like what you would call up and coming, and I think he might be one of those players that, like, in a couple seasons, we're gonna see him really bust out and really do well. And I mean, this is probably the kind of the foreshadowing of that, him getting to the semifinals here. But anyway, yeah, it's gonna be a pretty interesting matchup. I do think Yellow has a little bit of an edge, just being a more experienced player and that sort of thing. And it looks like he has a build order advantage. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Yellow is the white player.
Right, Yellow's white and Tybe-B
is blue. So actually, I had him switched in my mind. In fact, Tybe-B has a little bit of build order advantage because his pool's going up a little bit later, but not so late that he's not going to be able to have Lings out in time, especially since Yellow hasn't scouted him yet, so he's not going to be able to send his first Lings to the right direction. Anyway, so it looks like an early lead for Tybe-B here so far, but, you know, of course, Yellow, I think, probably has a little bit better micro at this point, and like I said, more experience, so it could go either way.
Yeah, and yeah, Yellow did scout the long direction, although it looks like Tybe-B is barely going to get his scouting first. At this point, that's not going to make as huge of a deal because Tybe-B is going to see those links coming over. Tybe-B is going to be able to make links no problem right now. There they are morphing. Tybe-B actually went for gas first, or they both went gas first into spawning pool, which you know, means of course both of them are going to be at the same build. So Tybe-B is going to be able to pop his Lings out, and as you said, Moltrap, it's going to be a matter right here. We do have, of course, an inverted ramp, which is harder to get up, but it doesn't even look like Tybe-B is going to be able to use the ramp, or Yellow's going to be able to use the ramp. Yellow with some pretty good micro coming in here, able to take out many Lings. He's over double the Lings of Tybe-B. This could be a really fast game. Tybe-B looks like he's trying to put up a sunken colony real quick. I don't know if that's going to work. We do see some reinforcements streaming in from Yellow, and it looks like Tybe-B is going to be able to ward this off. For now, Yellow has 2 more lings that are going to come in and try to do damage before the Sunken Colony goes down. But Yellow, just a great job bringing the lings in there, and as you mentioned, Moltrap just really out-microing Tybe-B in there. So Tybe-B is going to have to waste some money on a Sunken Colony, which of course is going to work for quite some time to keep lings out. And at this point, I would expect there's the Spire coming up, so I would expect we're just going to kind of see now a transition into some Mutalisk Harass or Mutalisk, offensives for both players. But definitely Tybe-B, you can tell, is in a defensive position here.
Yellow has already taken a very big lead in this game in that he has the aggressive position. You can see his lings are at the top of the ramp. Tybe-B cannot expand. He can't move out. So even as Moltrap said that Tybe-B had a little advantage in the build order in the beginning, it's not going to matter now because he can't really do anything with that extra minerals. Now he's just behind in his Spire. They're going to have gas at the same time, but I think that one thing that's going to be important is Yellow's going to get ling speed before Tybe-B does, and that's going to be huge. Now, like you said, he missed his opportunity a little bit because that Sunken's up, so that Sunken is going to fend off these Zerglings. So most likely, like you said, it's probably just going to come down to Mutalisk battle. If Yellow would have been able to keep the lings in the base and stop that Sunken, it would have been totally different. But it looks like we actually see Yellow now going for a hatchery, so he's not going to be doing anything aggressive. He is going to be waiting for his mutas and just hoping that Tybe-B is going to be scared and not move out of his base, probably because he's going to have a slightly less number of and it looks like Yellow is coming in here. I don't know what he's trying to do. He's trying to take on a few drone zone. It's very unsuccessful, though. I don't think Yellow's taking a single drone. It looks like one might go down. He's not focusing on that one drone, and it looks like no drones go down. So not much going on for Yellow there in that last attack, but I do feel that he does still have, I think he still has an extra drone or 2 on minerals, so that's going to make a difference too. Maybe 1 drone.
Yeah, that was huge there. That was huge. That was Yellow. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 1 extra.
I think he might have 1 extra.
No, they're even in drones actually. They're dead even. Both have 8. And
same.
And yeah, that was Yellow basically squandering his advantage. He went in there and killed off, used the superior micro, killed off those Zerglings. And you saw there he had, Tybe-B had 2 Zerglings. He had to pump drones. He had to make more drones. And the whole time he had 2 Zerglings.
Right.
And Yellow just sat outside of his base with like 8 Zerglings and didn't do anything. Didn't go in and try and keep his drones down, didn't try and make him produce more Zerglings, didn't do anything, and then going in there with a failed attack with those Zerglings basically even things back up again, putting them on even footing. So I guess it is going to come down to probably a micro battle again, this time in the air instead of on the ground because they've kind of even things back up. Again, Yellow still has a little bit of advantage because he was able to save up a little bit more money as opposed to producing drones and that sort of thing. And Yellow putting down has enough of an advantage here. As Matt's pointing out here, he's putting out an expansion as well. So if basically Tybe-B needs to do something now to neutralize that expansion, or in the long run, in about 3 or 4 minutes, he's just going to lose just to inferior production.
I agree, and the thing is, I have to hand it to Tybe-B because his drone micro was fantastic during that attack. Drilling them down and I mean, not losing 1 single drone while getting attacked by 8 lings. I mean, that is ridiculous. He didn't even take any hits on his Sunken. So you're right, but again, Yellow, I mean, if he sits here and gets this, and I don't know, wow, canceling Larva there. If he sits here and is able to get this base up and running, then, I mean, just by definition, Yellow should win this game because he's going to have an advantage. But at this moment, the base is still a loss as far as economy, and we see a confrontation coming up here. It looks like Yellow might have some great Scourge micro by Tybe-B here, able to take down the Scourge, but he's also getting nailed by all the Mutalisks. And I don't know, man. I almost Tybe-B does have quite a few Mutalisks. I almost think Tybe-B might have been smarter to put up a Spore at this point, but he's about to lose right now. He doesn't have any sort of defense. Yellow's coming in, and we do see some scores coming in from Tybe-B, but it looks like Tybe-B is down to just a few Mutalisks, and you can see his face here. The GG is right there. Oh, man, Tybe-B really could use this Spore colony, man.
Yeah, well, there's GG. Yellow, he's got really good Muta Micro. A lot of people think he maybe even be on par with Jadon or close to Jadon, at least in practice games. A lot of people have been saying that. So Yellow is not going to let that lead slip when he's got that many extra Mutalisks. And you just saw it, like you said, I really think the only thing Tybe-B maybe could have done other than out-micro Yellow is maybe get a Spore colony and then go try to expand and make a later game himself. But obviously, he didn't have a Spore, so that was going to help him out. And pretty much he just got outnumbered there. You know, 2 hatcheries versus 1. You could see it in the side difference too if you go back. Yellow was up about 7 side when he actually finally attacked, so he definitely had an extra 1 or 2 meatless and a couple Scourgeon that just made the difference.
Yeah, and I think that comes down to the fact that he had to produce those drones, so he didn't have the minerals. But great game played by both. Yellow came out a little on top of the micro. GG.